Okay, I seriously can't believe I'm saying this, but Pretty Woman might be getting a sequel. I know, I'm freaking out too. Let's talk about it. Honestly, I'm usually super skeptical when I hear about these reboots and sequels that Hollywood keeps pushing at us these days. 9 times out of 10, they don't come close to the magic of the original. But when it comes to Pretty Woman, I feel completely different. And the main reason is the fact that this movie basically revived and set the record straight for the rom-coms. So it is basically the mother of the rom-coms, which means it can get as many sequels as it wants. At least this is how I feel about it. But let me know what you think. Since its release in 1990, Vivian and Edward's story gave us a dreamy romance, lots of humor, vulnerability, and this magical version of a love story we didn't even know we needed. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's the ultimate comfort movie. Seriously, I put this movie on when I'm sad, when I'm sick, or when I just want to feel something cozy. So, here is why there are all these Pretty Woman talks revolving around these days. Netflix is rumored to be working on a Pretty Woman sequel. I know. There hasn't been any official announcement yet. But if you've been following this industry for a while, then you probably know how this works. Studios often test the waters by leaking a rumor and then watching how we react before they make it official. And from what I've seen online, people, including me, are pretty hyped for even the possibility of it. But let me know if I'm right on this. Are you excited for the Pretty Woman sequel? Or do you think we should leave cult movies alone? Here comes the bittersweet part, though. If this sequel does happen, there is a little chance that it will include Julia Roberts or Richard Gere. I know, it is very harsh to hear that. So, feel free to take a minute to let that sink in, because for a lot of us, it's hard to imagine Pretty Woman without Vivian and Edward. In a previous interview, Julia's already said, "I don't think I could," when asked about reprising her iconic role. And Richard Gere was even more direct when it comes to his thoughts on starring in the sequel movie. He said, loud and clear, "I will never do Pretty Woman 2. On that note, can we just take a moment to appreciate what both Julia and Richard have been doing over the past few years? Because I feel like their recent career moves hint at why they are so hesitant to star in the new sequel for the Pretty Woman. Julia has definitely stayed active in her career, but in a way that feels very intentional. Like, you won't see her in every single movie these days. She's taken on roles that challenge her, like the one in Homecoming. It's clear she's picking projects that mean something to her, not just grabbing whatever script lands on her desk. Richard, on the other hand, has taken more of a step back from the spotlight. He's been doing fewer movies, but the ones he chooses are often smaller, more intimate films, like Three Christs or Maybe I Do. It feels like he's in a place where he values storytelling and character over blockbuster appeal. He's clearly not chasing fame anymore, because he no longer needs it. That being said, let's talk about the cast rumors. Because even though it breaks our heart to not see Julia and Richard, if there is a sequel, there will be a cast that will make our jaws drop, that's for sure. Apparently, Netflix is eyeing Emma Roberts and Tom Hardy to lead the sequel. I know, you weren't expected to hear these names, but if you didn't know, Emma is Julia's real-life niece. So, in a way, that makes it feel like a thoughtful casting choice. There are also rumors that she'll play Vivian's niece on the movie as well. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Turns out this sequel might have darker tones than the original. In fact, this might basically be a thriller movie instead of a rom-com. Because, did you know the original version of Pretty Woman was not a fairy tale? The original script was actually called 3000, and it had a much darker ending. In this version, Edward was going to give Vivian the money, $3,000 to be exact, and then just leave. So, no flowers, no happy ending, just a transactional goodbye. Can you imagine that? I truly cannot. Thankfully, the studio reworked it into the sweet, charming rom-com we all adore today. But for the sequel, this original idea is rumored to be revisited as a critique to modern dating and relationships. And honestly, weirdly enough, I'm here for that. But let me know if you like this idea as well. The production is expected to start later in the year, meaning that we can expect a late 2026 release date. For more weekly updates on upcoming Netflix movies, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.